Hi friends, welcome back to the second episode of the Azure Active Directory Create and Manage Groups by Azure Made Simple. So the topics that we would be covering today are Azure AD Groups, what are those, why it's required, what are the different types of groups that we can create, and then followed by a live demonstration of creating an Azure AD group and adding members to the group. If you know that we have covered creating a user in our last session, we'll be using the same user in this live demonstration as well. Moving ahead, so what are Azure Active Directory groups? So Azure Active Directory groups help organize users, making it easier to manage permissions and define a security boundary. So when we say manage permissions, so say for example, there is a development team and there is a support team. So instead of adding all the developers and implementing specific permissions for the developers, what we can do is we can have an Azure group created for developers, add all the members of the development team to that group and provide the permissions at group level. So this makes the managing of the permission and access easy. And how we can define the security boundary? Similarly, what we can do, we can have security policies and we can apply those security policy at group level instead of applying them individually on each user. Moving ahead, what are the different type of Azure AD groups possible? So basically two types, security groups and Office 365 group. So the security groups are the most common type of groups you'll find if you're working with Azure or any cloud services within an organization. So what you do, you create a group, assign all the members with all the security permissions and everything, and there you go. This becomes very easy for the AD administrator and the IT ops and net ops, everyone. And the second one is Office 365 group. So basically, if we want to give another organization access to the, say for example, as we can see here, SharePoint site or OneDrive or Mailbox, then what you need to do is you need to create an Office 365 group, add all the members of the external organization, and there you go. They'll have the access to the resources which can be accessed via Office 365 groups. Now moving ahead towards a live demonstration. So as you can see, again, what we have to do is we have to go to the Azure Active Directory, or we can search from the search bar as well. So Azure Active Directory. Okay. By default, the landing screen would give you the overview and you can see the tenant information, license. We don't have any Azure AD Connect established, hence it is disabled. What you can do, if you remember, we went to users and we created this test user in our last session. What we'll do, we'll create a user group and we'll add that member. So what I'll do, I'll go to groups, which falls under manage. So I clicked on group. I see different option, all groups, deleted groups, general expiration, and so on, access reviews, right? So on this ribbon, what I see is new group, download groups, refresh, delete, preview info, and so on. What I'll do, I'll just go to the new group, create on it. Now, as we discussed earlier, we have two types of group possible. One is the security group, development team and the support team, and one is the Office 365. Say for example, SharePoint site, you want to give access to another organization, or OneDrive. That what I'll do, I'll create a security group. I'll name it as test sec group. uh, Group description, this is not mandatory, but I'll write it down. This is a test security group. Membership type, assign dynamic user, dynamic device. So select dynamic or assign membership for the group. So what I'll do, I'll just select assigned. No owner selected, no member selected. Here what I'll do, I'll select on the owners. I'll put myself as the owner. This is important because you should select one owner so that you can manage at least. Or you similarly, what I'll do, I'll select a member. So in member you'll have multiple type. A owner can be a user only. Now what I'll do, I'll search for my user. I see the test user that I had created. Okay, I select. Now what I'll do, I have entered the group type, group name, membership, owners, members. Now I'll create. So my group got created, and you can see the group type is security, membership type is assigned. We don't have a email assigned to it. What I'll do, I'll just open this group so we can see the details. We see this, we have one direct members, one owner, and so on. So how you can see whether the test user is a member or not? On the manage, you can select members. You see the members, right? I'll add myself also as a member. So now there are two members. You can see owners. So as you see, there is one owner, that is myself. So this concludes that we had created a test group and added the test user. In our next session, what we'll cover, we'll try to explore what are the Azure AD built-in roles already available and how to provide access based on the roles. So we'll be utilizing the test user and test group that we have created in the previous two sessions. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. This is Azure Made Simple signing off.